Good frosty Monday morning. Heading out to tile again. It's 21 degrees this morning. Sun's out. It's supposed to be 37, so I'm guessing it's going to get pretty slimy today. But we're going to try and get a few lines in today. More tiling today. Kobe's running stringer cart and digging holes. Calvin's back there doing hookups and connections, and I got the lovely job of running the tile plow. Nice warm cab. Just got to make sure it's going in right. Teleslope makes it pretty easy. Then you got your auto steer, so we laid out our lines. We're putting in 4-inch on 40-inch spacings. Just crossing this whole valley through here, trying to get as much covered per run as we can. Then we found that lovely one on the last pass. Had to stop and dig that out from underneath the plow. So lots of rocks in here. So what I'm doing right now is surveying. I finished that run, and then on my way back I survey the next run, and it'll calibrate and correct whatever needs to be done, and then get it to the grade that I want it, that I got it set at, and it'll tell me if it works or not when I get back. And all these runs should work the way it's. This whole farm is from one end to the other has a 25-foot drop in grade, so we can make a lot work on this farm. But I'm surveying. And then I'm waiting for them to finish digging the hole, and I'll pull up as close as I can and then end my survey, and then turn around, put the plow on the ground, and then check the path. It'll tell me if it works or not. So now we got it in the hole back here. Kobe's gonna string out another run here, and we'll be ready to take off. Process of making another connection here. Calvin's got that chunk cut out, put in a T6 to a 4. You got to dig out a hole big enough to fit the plow in, and then we can start another run. This is a good deal that we got this year, though. We got doors for the Ranger and got heat. It's really nice for fall tiling. Carry all stuff in here, and an extra rope, tow rope if we need help pulling the plow. Usually don't have that trouble with 4-inch. Oh, we got that whole valley, or draw, whatever you want to call it, tile, 4-inch on 40-foot spacings. This waterway is extremely wet, and the 10-inch clay main is 25-30 feet away from the waterway, so it just stays wetter and wet. So we put 6-inch submains on each side. Now we're running 4-inch out here, 40 feet apart, running them up the hill here, trying to take the pressure off the tile down here in the low ground. Good morning. It's about day 3 of strip tilling. I just found my GoPro. Thought we had lost it when we were tiling, so I didn't get the first 2 days, but it showed up again instead of looking all the right places. We are strip tilling today, putting down potash, phosphorus, and gypsum, along with a micronutrient package. We've had to wait for it to dry up. Every day has gotten a little better. It was really sticky to start out. Hopefully the rain holds off and just gives us a good run now. Had to bring the rig home. Could not get it out of the rock out of there. We have trouble. Rock stuck in there between the 2 blades and the shank. Yeah. Not good. There. One power pellet removed. Don't think it did any damage. That does look a little bent though. But we're a runner. Well, it's starting to get dark. Don't worry about the beard. I just haven't had time to shave. When I get to the house, I just want to eat and sleep. But we are having a good day strip tilling. We got, well, 4 fields done, but they're kind of small. And then I had that rock. That took about an hour. And then I had 2 hoses break on me on the main big 3-inch hose cracked. So Kobe helped me with that. And now we are in a 240 acre field. So we got plenty of places to run tonight here. Pretty good 3/4 mile long rows for a while and then a half mile. Just got those fan blades we gotta go around. Yeah, Kobe's home eating now. He's going to come and take over for me, and then he's going to run while I go home. So, going good. We're probably half done with bean ground, and I am trying a high-speed disc on my corn stalks. We aren't running it very deep, just trying to chew up the stalks. And our plan is to plant right into it next spring and roll it, and then plant it, so trying to speed up the fall tillage. Morning. Got my church duds on this morning. We have the equipment all parked this morning, Sunday morning. On today's episode of What Can We Fix? This hose here broke. I really don't like the way Gladiator's got this set up. You run the hose right next to the spring, so when you hit a rock it trips and then it rips the hose off. So that's a really poor design. And this one here broke and we wanted to keep going, so we cut it off, put it back on, duct taped it, and finished up the day. But yeah, we got our hoses are all wearing out. We got another hole up there. So yeah, 2 years they're pretty much junk.
I don't know if we have enough hose for this one, man.
Yeah, this one here is bad. Getting really tired of changing these hoses. 2 years and they're junk. I don't get it. Well, fix 2 more broken hoses. We're gonna fire up and try and finish the straight rows on this field, and we'll finish the end rows in the morning. Hopefully he makes it. I'm gonna go home and eat some supper, throw some groceries down my neck. How you doing, Max? Max, how you doing? Well, good morning. Monday morning. Down to about 1,200 acres to go. But as you can see, we got it in the shop today. Brought it in last night when we quit. All these parts on here have to go on there. Replace these, you can see the sides wore off on that one, almost getting into the fertilizer tube. So it's time to change that. Points and 2 sides before we can get rolling today. First thing I like to do is take like a screwdriver and go through and clean out all the dirt away from the nuts and the bolt heads, and then you run across stuff like this where a rock has gotten up and bent that one. Gonna have to cut that one off. And let's see, I was down to about here. You just gotta go through and clean the hard packed dirt off so you can get a socket or a wrench on there. Kind of get the threads cleaned off, and I'll probably put some penetrating oil on those. That longer bolt, because it full of dirt. Could take a steel brush and go in there, but Penetrating oil seems to be working pretty good. And then to make it easier to get to on this end one here, we put like a rebar in there to hold these closing discs up so they're out of your way. There's one that's out of the way. You can see you can get right to the bolt. There's the next one that doesn't have it in there. The bolt's right about there. So little trick, put a rebar in there to hold those up. Well, we got them all done. Kelvin and Toby helped. It doesn't take long with 3 guys. Rebuilt, hopefully get another 1,000 acres out of them. Toby's warming up the fertilizer trucks. I am putting on government juice. This is what really gets me. We're about out of government juice. We gotta drive 50 miles round trip to go get this refilled. Like a special trip, so I don't know how that saves the environment, but I guess common sense for the government, I guess. Morning. What do you think, Max? We're on our second to last field today. We got this one and then the one up in the terraces there. Just doing the border. So one nice thing about John Deere, you just outline the field, get your border set. You don't even have to steer. No steering required to go around the outside of the field. Just fills it in. That's really nice. Sharp curve ahead. Just takes it right on around. Pretty slick. Blockage sensor says I've got a plug row. So there it is. Tube's plugged, blew the hose off. So we're gonna have to try and dig that out. I have to set you down for a second. Well, we got it out. It had dirt stuck in that tube, which I'm not sure why. And I got the hose back on. Now we just got to tighten it up. Hard to do one-handed. And there, let's hopefully that holds. See if it works now. Good afternoon. Finally made it over to the custom job. Running on bean ground. This is a field I did last year, so it was really easy to set up. Slid over 15 inches and sent it. I've got one of his fields that I did last year. That'll be easy. The other ones I'm going to have to do a border. Go around and do the border so that my shutoffs work and my border fill around the outside edge works. But our poor fertilizer truck sitting over there is not running. What's wrong with it, but I think it needs new injectors. It's always something, ain't it? But yeah, we got 950 some acres to do here, and then one more job by Northwood that's 96 acres. Got a guy spraying corn stalks over there. Must be putting that melt down on it. Decays the stalks faster. I tried 3 fields of that this year in 120-foot strips, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. Anybody can comment on how it works if they've had any luck with it. But guess we're gonna keep the hammer down. Weather looks good. I don't know whoever invented daylight savings time, but man, feels like midnight. It's what? 7:06. Feels like, I don't know. Just, man, it's really messing with me this year. I don't know why. Maybe because it's nice weather out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I guess if I was president, I would move it a half an hour and leave it alone. Don't mess with it. Make everybody happy, half and half. That's my 2 cents anyway. Morning. Back in it again today. Pulling some hills today. Just finishing up 2 out of the 12 fields I got to do over here. Got one more bean field to do, and then the rest are all corn stalks. So we'll see how that goes. That can always be interesting. Had a couple hoses we had to fix this morning. Put on fuel, and we are good on government juice, so we're good to go there. Try and keep the hammer down. Weather looks good. Day 3 of custom stripping on the corn stalks. This is going to be beans next year. Putting on potash and a little bit of phosphorus. Just filled up. It'll probably be my last load for tonight. One thing with the stalks, once the starts to get a little cold, really cold or dewy out, it doesn't work so well. It likes to plug up. So I'm gonna try and do another 50 acres before we get her empty, and then we're gonna run the bar home. Got a couple hoses that have holes in them. We've been running on duct tape for the last couple days. Gonna try and put on some new hoses and maybe new shovels too, because these aren't gonna make it. Fixing hose today. Last 2 days we tried to duct tape the holes that were in it, and I just got tired of that. So it's gonna freeze. It froze last night, so we brought it home in the shop. So what do you think of Montag's hose delivery system, Kobe?
Not very good. As long as you don't want to spend a lot of money on duct tape.
You want to show them that hole in the hose?
Yeah, that's where it's been wearing through. They got such a bend coming out of the metering rolls there. It just wants to make a hole in it. Wearing holes in the duct tape too, so we figured it was time to just get her fixed.
Yep. Always fun to work with fertilizer, right, Maxie? The fun part is pulling the hoses through to all the row units. 3-inch hose that's really stiff, hard to bend. Well, we thought we were just doing hoses today, but on further inspection, we have a bolt that's broke. Of course, it's right under this cylinder. We're gonna have to knock that roll pin out, take the cylinder off, flip it over to get to that bolt, and then it's broke off in a threaded bracket underneath there. So yeah, we're not gonna have many acres today. Last summer when we were doing all that custom spraying, we were always waiting on pickup to get back with 1,000-gallon loads, and we were doing a lot of waiting, losing a lot of acres. So this is what Kobe and I came up with. We got two 3,200-gallon tanks, and then we're gonna have room for 4 totes, pump, reel. That's gonna be our sprayer setup for the year. Try that. Well, we had good news. That bolt right there, we got it in without taking the cylinder off, got her tightened up, and actually the roll unit was leaning a little bit, so it pulled it back into place. We put on 3 new hoses here, 1 on this side, 2 on the other. So hopefully we can save on the duct tape for a couple days. But we are running out of clamps to put this on. So we are currently searching for that. And here's our next order of business. That's broke. Supposed to look like that with 2 ears on it. That's broken. It's got a spring down in there under extremely high tension, and it's down, goes down to a bolt down there. So you either got to fight trying to get that bolt in there, or fight getting that off without dropping the spring all the way back down in there. So yeah, next problem. After just about taking Kobe's fingers off, we got that new stop put back in under spring tension. And we're gonna throw new sweep shovels, whatever you want to call it, on there, so we'll have good enough ones to finish over there. I got about 500 and a little over 500 acres to go. The other ones wouldn't have made 500, and it's 15 miles from home, so we're just going to change them while we're in the shop. Back the trailer in over the pit for tonight anyway. We're hoping that we can have it in here for the winter months. Put the pump and inductors and run it for electricity and air and all that fun stuff. But that's the plan. I Kobe backing it in now. I think it'll be worked out pretty good, I think.